Dr. Jazz.
Celine, I saw you were active last year as well with the Fly Fly Trio, and this is also your last album that you did, 2019. And I wanted to ask you first of all, how was this trio formed? Like when did you get the idea for a trio? Because before you'd had the quartet. I mean, I will talk about this later, but can you tell me a little bit about the Fly Fly Trio? What was the idea there?
Yeah, first it was I was invited to be artist in residency in a theater in Aix-en-Provence in France. Mm-hmm. And they proposed me to create a new project, and the deal was I played with who I want, but I had to play with the musicians who lived around the town where we
okay
project. So I had the idea to go on my experience with Chris Jennings, the bell bassist, and I did Jean-Luc Di Fraya with a percussionist, drummer and singer, and he plays a lot with Louis Winsberg.
The guitarist. Yeah.
And he's from south of France, but he had international playing with a lot of styles of music. And what was very interesting for me was that he had this spirit with when he sings and when which is very personal playing, and it inspired me. Yeah. So we decided to play together just to try something first, and finally it was super for me to collaborate with them, and we decided to record this project.
It's such a nice, because I listened already to your stuff before with Nguyen, also Open Heart, all the act stuff, and it's always your music is so it's complex. I sometimes write out the rhythms like 7/4 or whatever. You have many odd meters all the time, but it's so dance all the time. It's very groovy. And I wanted to ask you, how did you write, especially let's say Fly Fly project, or even before? Like, how do you write these melodies? How do you start a song, let's say for Fly Fly?
Yeah, most of the time I have a very sensitive approach. I felt that it was this Fly Fly album was a moment in my life where I wanted to make all my inspirations together and resume something.
Yeah.
The groovy part, but the something lighter on smooth or sweet, but with energy, something like that. And but the most of the time, the melody or the rhythm or bass line comes like that, and.
But you play it on the saxophone? I mean, do you start most of the compositions on saxophone, like when improvising, or then you write it down?
Yeah, the most of the time it is because I like practice with my looper. I have
I saw that. Yeah.
Play, or I'm practicing something, and And one moment, oh, this is not so bad. Play, record.
Okay, cool. That's okay.
And I sing, or I play and I overdub, and oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Not nice. It's not a thing. I decide today I will compose a tune in 7.5 and no, it's the first way for me is I'm playing and the ideas I build the ideas.
Yeah.
But basically there is another way for me to compose. The melody comes, or the bass line comes, or the rhythm comes, and I have to immediately record it on my phone.
Yeah.
Because if I wait 1 minute or 10 seconds, it's too late. I have lost it.
Yeah, I know that.
This, incredible.
No, it's funny. Like sometimes, when you go to bed and you're in bed and it's like, I don't know, 11. And then I had this so many times. I don't repeat the mistake anymore. But then you're like, and then, okay, I'll write this down in the morning before it's gone. So sometimes now I just get up, like, okay, write it down, then I can sleep.
Yeah. Of course, it's the same. Or sometimes it's while driving.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
Or walking in the street, or I don't know.
Yeah, but do you like do you write for the musicians you have in bands? So like, let's say you knew now you had Chris on bass, or even before when you had Gwilym on piano and before Nguyen on guitar. When you started writing the compositions for all these projects, did you know that you're writing for those players?
It depends. Sometimes I have already an idea. I recorded a couple of times before. But when I know where I will play with this musician and this musician, it's easier for me to imagine the music, because but for me it's better to write for someone, because you write for his energy, for his way of playing, personality, but it's not obliged.
It's always. But are you one of those composers who writes like, that you have a project in mind, that then that's when you start writing, or do you just, let's say you will write a song tomorrow just because you get an idea, or will you like finish the compositions only when you have the project? Most of us are like that. I get, when I talk to so many musicians, like everyone is like, then I have a recording in March, so okay, let's start working. Or
most of the time it's that's it for me. Because I don't compose every day. I play a lot, but sometimes I prefer imagine to be on stage and playing than composing.
That's a good one.
I could be in the moment. Composing is my second.
Okay. You like it? Composition, like composing?
Of course. But if I don't compose, I feel I stay happy.
Okay. Sure. I love composing so much. I could just do that all the time for me. But I wanted to ask you about. I had this interview also with Chris Jennings like 2-3 weeks ago. And how did you meet Chris? Where is the connection with Chris?
Before I played with Chris in the Crystal Rain project. I played with a French double bassist, Michel Benita.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that. Okay.
It was first a trio with Michel and Gwilym Simcock on the piano.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that. Wow, that's so cool.
We made a couple of concerts, and we should record, but something happens and we didn't record. But I don't will tell you the whole story.
Yeah, okay.
Too long and a bit complicated.
Okay. Sure.
So the band changed, and I asked Chris to play with me because Nguyen recommended me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He recommended me to play with Chris. Oh, Chris is a super.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't regret.
No, he's such a great composer and player and everything.
And the fourth was Asaf Sirkis, the drummers.
Mm-hmm.
Drummer from London, but he's Israeli.
Yeah.
And finally it was this quartet. Yeah.
Ah, okay. But you mentioned Gwilym before, like for the Crystal Quartet, and how did the connection with Gwilym happen? I mean, he's one of the top piano players now in the world, playing like with Pat Metheny and everyone and his solo projects. How did you connect with Gwilym? When did this?
It was 7 or 8 years. 8 years ago, something like that. My manager, producer, proposed me a project which was called Jazz Shuttle. It is a collaboration between musicians from England and France.
Oh, wow, okay.
We had to create a connection with a musician from London, for example.
Yeah.
And my producer knew the manager of Gwilym, and they were first in touch.
Yeah.
And, my producer told me, "Do you know Gwilym Simcock?" No, I don't know Gwilym. And I watched his videos on YouTube, and yeah. Yeah, I agreed to play with him, of course. And he agreed, and we began to play together with Michel Benita first. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like you said. Yeah.
Very acoustic project, without drums and yeah.
Well, was this heavy for you? Because like playing without drums, because I mean, in a sense, because I think you rely so much on the groove, and that's the idea.
I had it inside my head.
Yeah.
Time I missed the drum.
yeah, funny. Yeah, but you mentioned also Nguyen before, and I've known Nguyen like since 2011. Also, I did like a workshop of him in Slovenia here. And I'm a fan since 1995 or something. I don't know. But I wanted to ask you, like, what was your connection with Nguyen? I know you did that Dark Side of the Moon project and probably some other stuff. But when did you connect with him musically? Like,
yeah, it took a couple of time to be in touch with him because it was an old dream.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him playing, it was in a jazz festival in south of France, and I was 18.
Wow.
Yes, and I was in love with this musician. Yeah. And when I lived in Reunion Island, I composed for the first time my own music, and I was very inspired by a tune of him, which is in the Bakida album.
Oh, I love that. This was one of my favorite albums. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this tune is called. My tune is called "Vue d'en haut." It is the Seen from above, maybe in English. This is in my first album, my own production. And I had a dream to invite Nguyen to play on this tune.
Yeah.
But it was only a dream. But when I came back to France, I won a kind of a jazz award, which enabled me to record a CD and to play in many jazz festivals, like Jazz à Vienne festival, in France. And the award was this album recording, and this album recording was Way of Life.
Oh yeah, that was the Way of Life. Okay, cool.
Of life, and I tried to contact Nguyen to ask him if he wanted to record on a couple of tunes, and but before that, I asked him if he wanted to play for a gig. He wasn't free, and I tried, and one day he told me, "Oh yeah, okay, okay, why not recording with you?"
Yeah.
I met him in a jazz festival, Coutances, Jazz sous les pommiers, and I offered him a piece of my Vue d'en haut album.
Okay.
He listened to this music, and I explained to him the dream I had. You know, this tune, it is because you exist.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And yes, and finally, all this story worked, and we recorded, and it was each time one take.
Wow.
It was incredible. If you listen to the tune called Jungle on this Way of Life album, it was only one take, and it was flying.
Yeah. Did you ever play live then also with this with Way of Life band, with the quartet, with Nguyen also? Oh wow, super.
No, with Nguyen, just in trio.
Yeah, in trio, yeah. But with Nguyen you didn't, or?
After the recording.
You did. You did. Okay. Yeah.
Never before. We played together only for the recording.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite cool to hear, you know, as a composer and musician, that you come into the studio and then, like, you know, someone comes like kill on. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's you go so well musically, because his music is also like this, really, you know, like so many influences, like Africa, North Africa, Maghreb, all this amazing influence. It's kind of similar. It was like really, but this did the connection with because you did those two records, Open Heart and Way of Life, on Act Music, right? With Ziggy Loch. Did this also happen through Nguyen, or?
Yeah. When the recorded was finished, Nguyen did the mix.
Okay.
He told me, "Do you have any label or?" No. I had only our own production. And I didn't think about that at the time. And he told me, maybe you should try to send your recording to Ziggy Loch.
Yeah.
He will like it. But we couldn't be sure. It's not because Nguyen told me send it to Ziggy that it was sure that it worked.
Yeah.
No, Ziggy Loch, if he doesn't like, he doesn't like.
Yeah.
But he liked.
Yeah, that's good.
Very much, and it was incredible to be signed in Act for this first album. It was the second, but it was the first.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's nice to hear all these connections in jazz. I always love that, you know, like puzzle, like quick again. But you mentioned, Celine, Reunion, the island. Like I've read somewhere you were there for 7 years, and how did this happen? Like,
it's another story because I have I am a teacher, saxophone teacher in music schools, and I was searching for a job because I was teaching in Paris at that time, but I have a diploma, a kind of diploma, and I had to try to work with this diploma. And in Reunion, there is a very big new conservatory, and one day they called me to propose me to teach there. Hello, Celine Bonacina. I call you. Do you want to teach in Reunion Island? Oh, why not? So I lived in Paris since 2 or 3 years, and it was difficult for me to imagine to go away.
Yeah.
If it was to go at the other side, in the other side of the planet, it was really exciting.
Yeah.
So I accepted the proposition, and I went there.
I wanted to ask you about Reunion Island musically. What I know when I played with Dominique Pifarelli, he's from there, and I know he told me some stuff. But how was that musically for you? Like, what's the musical scene there? Like, did you get some influences? And
yeah, big influence. I must say it changed my life, my musician life. Because there you have some special rhythms, Maloya, Sega. It's a 6/8, but it's a kind of a special accentuation. Instead of a tickety, 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 you have the time like that.
Okay.
You feel.
Oh wow!
It is the second and the fifth.
Yeah. Oh wow! That's quite cool.
It's incredible. It's a feeling that I have it always on my mind. Yeah. It's in my heart for my entire life, and you can hear this in my music.
Yeah. Okay, that's where this comes from then. Okay.
Yeah. And it's mixed music, mixed people. It's really, really exciting, a very nice experience.
Yeah. Amazing. No, that makes sense then. Yeah, the danciness in your music, like. But can we go even back, like before Reunion Island? Like, you started with saxophone, or?
Yeah.
With
saxophone. Yeah.
But first classical music, or?
Yeah.
But who were the jazz triggers? You remember when you were a teenager, probably which album or record you heard and was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah. When I was 16, it was a time I could borrow some CDs at the Mediatek. There wasn't any internet, and I couldn't listen to music like today. And you had to be 16 to borrow some CDs.
Okay.
15, not possible, but 16. So when I was 16, I was every day at the Mediatek, and I borrowed all CDs I could see, and I discovered Charlie Parker.
Yeah.
Not the time. And I listened to this, and it was electroshock.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah.
What's this? Because I played classical music, but my father was a trumpet player and a guitar player.
Oh, okay.
And when I was a child, he played in a big band of jazz. So,
okay.
I listened.
You were, yeah.
I was used to this music.
Yeah.
To listen to this music, and I played this music on my own.
Yeah.
With my memory of Glenn Miller or something like that.
Yeah.
And when I borrowed his Know the Time of Charlie Parker, I wanted to play like him.
Yeah.
It's not original, I know.
No, come on. It makes sense. We all were there with our own heroes. Like, yeah, I want to be there.
So I had a good level of practicing my instrument. So I could listen to the music and do the same. Not the same, but the same.
Yeah.
I transcribed the solos and I played them.
Oh, wow.
It was absolutely incredible for me to play this, and I wanted to play this. I wanted to play bebop. I wanted to play only jazz.
Yeah. But did you then starting discovering other artists like John Coltrane and everyone, Sonny Rollins and
Yellow Jackets, Sparrow Jerry.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Really?
Sanborn,
interesting.
and the old generation and the actual generation. I listened to the whole CDs. So Kenny Garrett, and for the baritone later, it was Jerry Mulligan. I discovered Pepper Adams, Nick Sprignola.
Oh yeah, Gary Smulyan probably.
Yeah, and Gary Smulyan. I love him.
Yeah,
he's playing, and Serge Shaloff and John Serman. John Serman was a kind of not
for me also.
with the loops, with the universe, and it was a.
How did you decide for the baritone? Actually, when was this moment?
I lived in Paris at the time, and I was 20. I was 20, and I decided first to play the baritone, to play the cello suites of Johann Sebastian
Bach.
Yeah. The prelude.
Mm-hmm.
First, and at the same time, I was in some big bands in Paris on the baritone, and one day I decided to explore the baritone as a solist instrument, and not only in the section. Because I loved this instrument, and I had a particular feeling. I played the alto saxophone a lot before, and after the baritone, and after the soprano later. A bit later. But I wanted to explore this instrument as a soloist instrument.
Yeah, no, it's so great to hear that. It's so rare, nowadays. It's not so many, and I love the sound because it's it's a beast, it's an animal. but when was then this moment? So you played then baritone, most of it, and when was the moment when you decided, like in your head, okay, I will lead my own groups now. I will become a band leader. You remember that? Like,
Yeah,
how was that for you?
Yeah, it was at that time when I lived in Paris and I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to have my own group, and but it was difficult to have a gig there. And I have some musicians. I didn't have my own music. I played standards and I arranged them. My first group was Halbob Quartet, and I did only one gig, I think, at that time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, but was it hard for you? I mean, or even now, like being a band leader?
At the beginning, I felt very timid.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I had to learn to trust
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, sure.
And it's when I lived in Reunion Island that really the story, my music, my life, musician life began, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Because all was new. All was new. A lot of musicians came and told me, "Oh, do you want to play with me?" And
Yeah.
let's try something. And I met so lovely musicians, and I had a lot of experiences with each of them. It was musically fantastic.
Yeah, sure.
And yes, I became a leader there.
Yeah, but you like being a band leader?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how would you describe yourself as a band leader? Like, I mean, are you like really? I don't know. I love this question always because it's I'm a band leader also. I love listening, playing my music, but do you find it hard sometimes to all these aspects of being a band leader?
Yeah, it's natural for me. I am myself. I don't try to be a leader or to be something. I love music, and my life is to play music.
Yeah.
So I compose. It's natural for me to meet other musicians and to tell them, do you want to play this with me? And I don't know. I don't know if it's really difficult. So sometimes I have some doubts for something.
Yeah.
Everyone and
Sure.
everyone, I guess. But if you, I think if I trust in my music, if I love this music and it's my life to play this music, I don't think about if it's difficult or not to be a leader. So it's difficult because you have all on your
shoulders.
To check everything, to care about everything, and
it's heavy that.
When I play for others musicians, when I'm a side woman, it's easier. That's right.
Yeah. You like being a collaborator, a side woman, like right. It's nice also.
But I love to be a leader.
Leader, yeah, sure.
Because I love people.
Yeah, that makes sense. But did you like? I know you were part of Nguyen's Dark Side of the Moon project.
Yeah.
And how was Nguyen, or how is he as a band leader? I mean, I'm having this interview with him in 2 weeks. So, but how is he like as a leader of groups?
He's very, very precise and kind.
Okay.
At the same time, he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
And he's very sweet with express the things he wants.
Yeah.
Very sweet, but he knows what he wants. It's very.
Yeah.
I don't know to explain.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Substance. You trust you.
Yeah.
You.
No, that's the idea I got. Yeah, for when I spoke to Chris Jennings about Chris played with Nguyen, and so he told me also that he's really like his music is so complicated. Also, that's one thing. Yeah.
But his music is complicated but very exciting. I love it. I love his music and I love his musician. It's really a friend.
But this is
Dr. Jazz.